Welcome to your new Knicks update for July 6th, 2016. Many of you are enjoying the 4th of July holiday here in New York. It's been a busy week as free agent signing started July 1st. And for all you Knicks fans, it's been a big week. We've gotten a lot of new players on the team, started by Derrick Rose. All the fans groaned last week. They groaned because he's been injury riddled, and we're not getting the same Derrick Rose from his MVP year, but that's okay. As I mentioned, he's much better than what we had, because we had nothing basically at guard anyway. And with him, he brought along Joakim Noah, another ex-Bull, Derrick Rose's former teammate, so he's on the Knicks now. He'll be patrolling the front court with Carmelo Porzingis. And I really, out of all of the signings the Knicks made, besides Derrick Rose, I like Joakim Noah, even though he's going to have to prove himself because he's been hurt himself. But he brings a toughness to the team that hasn't been seen since the days of Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason, Kurt Thomas. If he's healthy, he could be that guy. He could be a double-double guy. He could average a double-double, and he provides something that the Knicks have been sorely missing for so many years: the interior defense. And he could will his teammates to step up on defense. And yes, Carmelo maybe, not that he's lacks defensive desire, but now maybe with Joakim on the team, he'll be forced to step up his game, so to speak. And then the Knicks signed Courtney Lee. He's a pretty decent player. If you don't know about him, he's a shooting guard, and he's been described as a 3-and-D guy. I mean, he's shoot the three and three-pointer from downtown, and he's a very good defensive player. I'll pull up his numbers here. Courtney Lee, last year he played with Memphis and Charlotte. He didn't really he's not really what you call a big time scorer. He's a specialist, okay? Specialist. He's a very good. I think that he's going to be used as a sixth man who could come in off the bench, shoot, give the Knicks a spark on defense. He's 6'5", 200 pounds, typical shooting guard. He could handle the ball a little bit, you know. He'll make the defense work. You know, is he a superstar? No, but he's a role player, and he'll fit into the system. Phil Jackson definitely has some plan going into the season with all these signings, so he'll definitely provide the shooting, as I talked about previously on the Knick podcast radio review, episode 17, how the Knicks have been sorely been missing outside shooting the last few years, and also to go along with that, they've been missing defense and defending the 3-point line. I mean, it's been an open season out there for shooters and teams. They just all day they just get open, make if opposing teams make 2 or 3 passes in the pace, they'll wind up with an open three. And I've watched so many Knicks games. It's like it's automatic. It's like the team, the opposing teams and players never miss from 3-point range. Jeez, but so if you weren't happy with that, the Knicks got another name, Brandon Jennings. He signed with the Knicks. He's a point guard. As soon as they got him, the newspapers were saying, "Oh, he's going to be a backup to Derrick Rose." I don't think so. I think now that the pieces are starting to materialize, I think now they're going to They're going to start Jennings at point guard and maybe start Derrick Rose as shooting guard. And with Courtney Lee, I think the Knicks are planning on using a 3-guard lineup sometime during the games with Derrick Rose, Brandon Jennings, and Courtney Lee, and they'll probably have as bigs they'll use Carmelo and Porzingis. And I think that lineup, maybe that won't be the starting lineup, but that could possibly. I think that combination of the 3 guards might give teams a fit here and there. They could switch it up. They could put Cam and Melo down the blocks with the 3 guards and go small. I think that lineup will fit more in the triangle offense. Not that they're gonna. I don't know what they're gonna use. There's grumblings that Jeff Hornacek, maybe he's not gonna completely instill the 3-point the triangle defense, triangle offense, but he will use variations and similes of the triangle offense. I mean, the triangle offense is basically you spread out the floor. You have 3 guards with 2 forwards down the block. You create space, and everybody's constantly moving. For the last 2 seasons, we've heard so many players of the Knicks saying, "Oh, they don't understand the triangle offense. It's too hard. They don't know what they're doing." Come on. I've said this before. Only bad players don't understand the triangle offense, because bad players just want to stand around all day, wait for the ball, just shoot it, or get the ball and just drive, and not be reflective of the overall team as a whole. That's what the triangle offense is. It forces all 5 players on the team to constantly intermingle and interact with each other on the plays. But enough of that. So Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah, Courtney Lee, Brandon Jennings, those are the big name free agents. They just yesterday, I believe, or the day before, they re-signed Lance Thomas. He's a good role player. He's played last year. He showed a lot of heart and hustle during the bad times when the Knicks were losing the 15 out of 16 games. He looks like a nice little player, role player, maybe 7th man. He'll be all right as long as everybody plays and assumes their role. If you have a Lance Thomas starting at power forward and you expect him to score 15 and pull down 12 rebounds, he's not going to live up to that. You have to put players in all team sports. As management, coaches, whoever it is, they have to give players in their organization a chance to succeed, and you can't expose their weaknesses or put them in a situation where the weaknesses are exposed, but rather you have to put them in situations where their strengths flourish. So, and now we just over the wire now, the Knicks signed an international player, Mindaugas Kuzminskas. Is that right? He's from Team Lithuania. He seems I've looked at some video of him on YouTube. He's a tall, lanky forward. He looks like he's got pretty good dribble up the court, and he looks like he could handle it. He's not a clumsy, stereotypical big man, and he looks like he could drive. Hey, if we get anything out of him off the bench, fill in some minutes. If he could give us 7-8 minutes a game, it'll be fine, as long as he doesn't embarrass himself. They showed some highlights of him against Team USA, but that's not really a good point of reference, because those guys look like they weren't playing any defense at all. But and then everybody's favorite Spanish player, Willie Hernan Gomez, if I pronounced that correctly. These international players have too many consonants in their name. He's, of course, as you know, ex-teammate of Kristaps Porzingis. And let me see here if you could find them. Anyway, he was the Knicks' second round pick last year, and like I said, I believe he was Kristaps' teammate. He comes highly recommended with some potential. We'll see. We'll see. How many times have we heard that? Potential, and what? Now this is so far. I'm not bashing the Knicks. Like I said, we have now NBA players, above average players at every position. I'll even say some stars. Okay, and I just read from the Post from July 5th, Mark Berman. He says the Knicks could go from a 50-loss joke to the top four in the East with a new core. All right, now listen. Last year, the Knicks, I don't think they won. They didn't win 40 games. Their second half, they were terrible. Let's not get too crazy, okay? At worst, they squeak into the 8th seed. At worst. At best, maybe they could slide into the 6th slot. Okay? To win to be in the top 3, you have to win the division. Are the Knicks going to win the Atlantic Division? Ask yourself. Are they? You got Toronto there, who's fresh off the conference finals. The Celtics, everybody's sleeping on them. I believe they signed Jeff Teague recently. I don't know. I think they did. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll look at it later. But the Celtics are pretty good. They're a pretty good team. They made a lot of moves themselves. They had a lot of draft picks. Last year, they made a good showing in the playoffs. You know, maybe they didn't go too far, but they're an up-and-coming team. So that's 2 teams in the Atlantic that the Knicks are going to have to worry about. Just pray that they get. I would be happy with it opening, having home court in the first round. But we'll see. At least it'll be okay. At least, like I said, we have going into the season, we have above average NBA players in the starting lineup, potential stars. As a Knicks fan, listen, just hope for the best because Derrick Rose, Brandon Jennings, they're up 1-year deals. Listen, if the Knicks get off to a very bad start, things are going to get real ugly. Real ugly. There's going to be a lot of panic going off throughout the organization. You got a new coach, Jeff Hornacek. Okay, all right. I can already see the built-in excuse. New coach, got to give him time. The team's got a lot of new players. You got to give them time to gel. We've heard this before, okay? And before you know it, the Knicks will be close to 7, 8, 9 games below 500 in the 9th, 10th slot in the East. And let me tell you, this is important because come the trading deadline in February, they're going to have to make decisions real fast. Do you keep Derrick Rose? And then he might walk away because he's unhappy being on the Knicks. The Knicks aren't going anywhere. Same thing with Brandon Jennings. So it's imperative that the Knicks get off to a fast start to the season. They have to at least play. They have to get at least off to at least 20-12 record. and it's about time they start playing well at home. The Knicks can't play well at Madison Square Garden. In the 90s, the Knicks owned Madison Square Garden. In the Pat Riley days, they owned the fourth quarter. They went to the fourth quarter down 7, 8, 9 points. It didn't matter. You knew they were coming back. So that's going to be for starters. They have to take care of the home court. And now another thing I want to talk about, I want to bring this up. Phil Jackson. Everybody's praising Phil, signing all these players. But what did he really do? He created cap space. He did create cap space. He got rid of a lot of dead weight. And he signed free agents. Did he lure them? Did he recruit them? Did he entice them to come here? Or was this just a nice place to play for a few months for some of these guys? It's New York. They could promote their brand. They could promote themselves, showing that they're healthy for the next team, for next season. My beef, and I wanted to bring this up a while back, how it was really, really a big deal for Phil Jackson to recruit Kevin Durant on the Knicks. Isn't that what he was brought here for? Big Phil, the winningest coach in NBA history, one of the greatest, maybe the greatest coach in all sports. His 11 rings, 2 as a coach and 2 as a player with the Knicks. Did everybody forget how Pat Riley recruited LeBron James? When LeBron came in, Pat Riley showed him his rings on the table. He presented him his rings on the table. He said, here, pick one. Try one on. Here, you could try one on. And LeBron that was it. That was a pitch, and that sealed the deal. LeBron signed right away. He saw those rings. He knew he was in a championship atmosphere. Wade had won a ring. Riley's had 6, 7 rings. Why did Kevin Durant even meet with the Knicks? Did they even have a shot? And even if you say, oh, forget Kevin Durant, he's just one guy, who's the next guy going to be? Now you have reports that Russell Westbrook isn't going to sign his extension with OKC now that Durant's gone. And they brought it up on the Post, again, Mark Berman, how Nick's Jennings deal can open the door for Russell Westbrook. Another guy, another superstar, all-NBA player. Is Phil going to swing and miss on him too? This is year 3 of Phil's tenure with the Knicks as a president. Yeah, they've been improving, but let's take a look at it. The coaching debacles. Do you remember that? Steve Kerr, he had Steve Kerr in his grasp, and Steve Kerr at the last minute bolted for Golden State. Man, did he make a good decision, Steve Kerr, huh? 2 trips to the finals, a championship, just went a 73-9 team. Forget that they blew a 3-1 lead in the finals, but look what he got now. Golden State's the heavy odds on favorite next year to win. Now that they signed Kevin Durant. Golden State was pretty attractive for Kevin Durant. Just look at it. Derek Fisher, debacle. Guys comes out, he's sleeping. Even if it's not true, it's rumors. He's sleeping with players, ex-girlfriends. That's one thing that could really, really cause crap. You want to tell me that he got fired because the Knicks were underperforming? Boom. It's so funny how he got fired after that Matt Barnes incident, and how there was more rumors came out that he was sleeping with. He has a tendency to sleep with players' ex-girlfriends or ex-wives. And then Kurt Rambis got it as a dish. because he was so familiar with the triangle. Didn't work out. Then there was people were screaming for a big. We need a big name coach. Big name coach. Tom Thibodeau gets fired. Nothing. He bolts. So now we got Jeff Hornacek. Boy, now is the pressure on him. Now he's got the players. He can't. That out. That excuse is gone. Oh, he doesn't have any players. He's got a very good starting lineup. So we'll see. You tell me. Has Phil Jackson been a failure in New York? I'll tell you, November and December this year is going to really, really make that picture, that image, that answer more clear. Because if the Knicks are headed into January, 4 or 5 games out behind the 8th slot in the East, hovering at 500 or a few games below, it's going to be a lot of decisions to make. And don't forget, Carmelo Anthony's a year older, a year more frustrated. This thing could completely blow up by February. We'll keep our fingers crossed it won't. And now I'm going to move on. And like I mentioned, Kevin Durant, everybody's talking about it. He goes to the Golden State Warriors. He's been criticized by the media, how it was a weak move. This is just like LeBron did a few years ago. Listen, it's his right. He gave his heart and soul to his team OKC for years. They couldn't do it. So he at least wants to win. There's a lot of players who've come to the NBA who don't care about winning. All they care about is, can I average 20 points? Can I average 7, 8 rebounds? And they'll sign to the biggest bidder. They're in it for the money, baby. At least Kevin Durant wants to win. He's hungry to win. He wants that championship. He wants to validate his legacy as a player. It's not just being a scorer or a stat compiler who rack up numbers. He wants to be a winner. So he attaches himself to a 73-9 team with the 2-time MVP. They're the heavy favorites now. Okay? But as you saw, they were 73-9 with a 3-1 lead in the finals this year, and they lost. Anything could happen in the NBA. That's why you play the games on the court, not on paper, as the old cliche goes. It'll be another Golden State Warriors, Golden State Mania year coming up this year. It'll be fun. So we'll see. Okay, that'll do it. I'll have another update for you as soon as possible. I'm out.